Joining us here now is the girls basketball squad. So thank you for joining us, part of the production here for Watchdogs.Live, DawgBoneEntertainment. Coach Paulson, maybe kind of talk through the identity of the squad. You graduated 4 seniors from last year. Bring back a number of players who have experience with you. Maybe kind of talk about the squad and kind of how the first few days of practice have gone.
So these first few days of practice, these girls know what I'm expecting of them, and these first couple days of practice have been amazing. They've been high energy, ready to rock. There's not very many of them. We have 14 girls out, so they're getting through every drill quickly, efficiently, and I'm very excited for, if the season continues to go this way, I'm very excited for what's to come.
You know what we've seen in the past in terms of a style of play, and again, just knowing you a little bit. I've peeked my head into a couple practices already. I think I know what you're going to say, but tell us maybe what will be the identity, if that's a word to use, for this squad.
I guess for an identity, like, it's just going to be, we're going to be 100% all the time. Like, it's buy-in, passion. We're never going to be the team that's outworked. Like, we will be the team that's working hard. So if there's a ball on the ground, it's going to be ours. We know the drill. We will work hard. I never want to walk out of a gym saying that team worked harder than us. They might beat us. They might score more points, but they're not going to outwork us. That's
that would summarize what I've seen just speaking into practice so far. So, no, very good. Got a couple of other students here from Beresford High School. They've got a few questions. So, guys, maybe take over with what you've got.
Yeah. What will we be seeing defensively from the girls' team this year? More of a zone or man defense?
So I like to mix it up a lot, but I do have a couple zones in my pockets, more aggressive ones that we look to trap and stuff. Those will definitely be in play. But we've been working really hard all summer on our man defense, getting better at that, being able to lock people down. So I'd say you're going to see a pretty good mix. Really depends on numbers and who we have that night, who we're playing that night, what we're going to do against them.
So bringing back some young talent from last year, how will you guys compete with tough teams in our conference, such as Sioux Valley, who went 13-7 last year, Flanders, who went 16-4?
So they're bringing back a lot of young talent as well. Sioux Valley graduated a couple seniors, but Flanders bringing back their whole squad. I think we are going to compete very well. I think over the summer we've gotten on the same page. Everyone knows what needs to be done, who needs to get the ball in every play, and so we've built over the summer we've built a very strong program, and I think we'll be competitive with those teams.
Ladies, why don't you take us through what was that off season, whether it was summer camps, leagues, seeing you guys working out early in the mornings, shooting hoops, just even out in the driveway. What has the off season kind of been like, and maybe take us through some of those things so the fans understand what you've put in to get in ready for this season?
Well, we participated in the Pentagon League up in Sioux Falls. That was a really good league for us. We ended up doing really good in it. Got to play the teams that we usually play and a couple that we don't. And then we went to DW twice for team camps and Mount Marty, and they were really fun and we played good. You guys have anything?
A lot. We got better as playing basketball, but we also grew as like a team. You know, a lot of team bonding, just going to all these places and in between games, just hanging out together and growing as a team in that way as well.
Yeah, the open gyms that we had this summer, I think were really good for us. We got to build off where we left off from last season and just continuing to put in things and work on things we already have. So looking forward to the season.
Kind of hit on a little bit within the Big East Conference, a couple schools maybe to be watching for. Let's talk about Region 4A, kind of up and down the interstate here. Ladies, maybe take us through who are you looking at, kind of got circled on that regular season schedule for within Region 4A.
I know Vermilion.
Yeah, Vermilion will be tough.
Good team.
I don't think so.
4A would be like Vermilion,
Definitely
Canton,
Lennox and Canton are going to be
Canton.
two of our tough games, I think.
I just think we'll compete very well with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Conference aside, region aside, what's the game you love on the schedule? Which one are you circling going, that's my favorite team to go play?
I mean, Elsister's always a good rivalry game because the fans are always there. Student sections are big. and it's always just a fun
Yeah.
atmosphere.
I'd say Canton's kind of like that too. Like, especially if we're up there, their student section's usually going crazy about it.
Yeah.
So.
Canton is definitely a fun game to play at.
You guys have like a pregame ritual?
Want me to
Yeah.
take it? Yeah, we got a good one. So, where my dogs at? Before every game, all right, we got to get pumped up. We got to get ready to go. So,
Yep.
Now that felt reserved.
Oh yeah.
That might not be the actual thing. Are we gonna get legit here?
Oh
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
legit.
Oh yeah.
you guys ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we singing? Yeah, we're singing.
Ready?
Yeah.
Where my dogs at?
Right here!
A little better.
My throat hurts really bad.
All right, so the freshmen know what they're doing, right?
Maybe.
It might be a little scared after they hear that.
Speaking of freshman underclassmen, maybe coach and or some of the players, things that you've seen in the off season, maybe focusing more on specifically the varsity ball, or maybe some of the younger players, or maybe just the casual fan haven't seen them on Watchdogs.Live just yet. Who are those players that maybe they should keep an eye out for?
So we obviously have a strong sophomore class, but they've been playing for a while as far as on the varsity level. But looking at our freshman class, we have Micaiah Sharp, who is over 6 foot and will definitely be someone to watch for. Ashlyn Olsen and Kate Dagan have really been working hard in the off season. Watching them come into the gym these first couple practices, you can tell that even though we've been off since the summer, they have been in the gym. So I definitely see them helping us out big time on the court. We have a strong sophomore class with returning 3 players, and we added 1. So that'll be really exciting that we have 4 in that class now. We got Ella, who's right here beside me. She's been playing since 8th grade. So I think most people know her name. And then we have a strong junior class with 5 and seniors leading up with 2. So should be there'll be some returning names that people are used to, but there'll definitely be some names out there with, like I said, 4 seniors graduating, and of the top 6 minutes played, those were 4 of them. So only 2 of them really have solid returning time. So it'll be a very interesting season. Definitely some new names and some new play.
I have a question here for you players. What areas in your game do you feel that you've improved the most since last season?
Probably like communicating. I feel like we didn't talk as much last year as we did this past year.
Yeah, I think I would agree with communicating and just like my basketball IQ just going up with just small things that you learn through each game that have really helped me.
Yeah, definitely communication and IQ, and I think that really came from all the team bonding we got this summer and just being able to stay together, and yeah, it's been really good.
What's your fondest memory of your high school basketball career?
I would say probably when we had to wear Flanders jerseys
Yes,
for
that
the
was
conference
fun.
tournament because we showed up.
Red, white.
Us and Parker both had our white jerseys, and they flipped a coin, and we lost. So we had to go
So,
put on Flanders
practice jerseys.
boys practice jerseys. So I was wearing a.
They're all way
4X,
too big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
That was definitely a really fun
Yeah.
experience.
And then just all of the summer bonding that we did too. So
Yeah.
My favorite memory was, a couple years ago when we had Janae on the team, and we were practicing in the elementary, and she was going down the stairs, and she accidentally fell, and Kelly Knutson goes, "Safe!" Oh my god, it was the funniest thing, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other media questions here?
I was going to ask, you've talked a lot about team, you talked a lot about how much of your minutes you lost from last year's team. So how much value did those summer camps just add to that? Because it sounds like, especially at the beginning, you're not going to have maybe that one player or 2 players that you can rely upon. It's going to be a team aspect. So how much value was there in those? Because you've talked about communication and all of that. If you can just talk about how you think that helps you leading into this season, especially maybe not having one or two important players that you can focus on?
I think it really helped us, especially those people who didn't get as many minutes last year, really helped gain their confidence. They got to come with us to like the Pentagon Leagues and all the different camps and getting a lot of minutes in with the few people who are returning. And so having them getting that experience, gaining the confidence that they're going to need because they are going to see more minutes than they saw last year. So that was really, really important for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say those seniors last year were very defensively minded.
Yes.
They were a very strong defensive threat, and so that's been a big focus and a big difference. Like having to step up and figure out how we're gonna have to adjust our defense slightly because we had some very key and some very quick seniors that we lost. So learning how to adjust from that was a big part this summer, and I think we've gotten there. And like John asked earlier about our defensive strategy is adjusted because of that as well. So definitely some loss in minutes, but I think we are more than going to fill those shoes.
One last question. Baltic last year being a close game and low scoring. How are you going to approach the game, especially forcing 40 turnovers last year?
So they going into that game every year is always a little bit rough for us because they have 2 games under their belt before they see us. We're going into it with that being our first game. Last year with me being a new coach, with the girls, it was a completely new offense, completely new defense. So that first game was kind of a, hey, let's go out and see what we can do. I think this year will be a different story. I think we're now more understanding of what we're going to be running. The girls are going to be ready offensively to run the plays. I think last year we struggled even getting into the plays, so I think that'll help as far as the scoring aspect. We weren't even getting many shot attempts last year in that Baltic game. So I think this year, hopefully, in my mind, is going to be a different story as far as more high-scoring game.
Does the new foul rule, does that affect your game plan at all?
So it does and it doesn't. Like, at the end of the day, each game's different regardless. Sometimes it's a very close foul game where a lot of fouls are called. Sometimes it's not. I do think now, having seen it in action a couple times, towards the end of the game, it could get pretty strategically change coaching. Because it used to be, you foul, you get a 1-on-1. Now you're guaranteed those 2 shots. Usually players, if they go up to the line knowing they get 2 shots, are going to be a lot more confident going into those 2 shots. So definitely strategically looking at those fouls and knowing, hey, we got to stop at 4. Like, will be an adjustment, and I think it'll take a little bit to get that. But I think in the end, it'll be, it's just another game. You never know what the fouls are going to bring anyway.
So you mentioned there were only 14 players this year. What is your message to those younger girls that are playing basketball and on the fence of continuing to play? What would you say to motivate them or help them understand that it's worth it to keep playing?
Basketball's a fun sport. Like, you never know if you'll like it until you try it. And some girls that are on the fence about doing it, just go out and try it. If you like it, then continue it.
Yeah, it's a really fun sport, and you make such close relationships with your teammates and the whole team. And if you've even 2 girls that haven't played since middle school, they came out this year, and I just think that's really great that they're giving another shot and stuff. So yeah,
It's such a rewarding sport. We have such a close team, and it's such a fun experience. So yeah.
I obviously would love, but these girls know better than me what needs to be said. All right, I love basketball, and I will encourage anyone to come out, and I can help you. If you're I don't even know how to play, that's what I'm here for. All right, I'm here to help you, make you better, and make you more confident in your game.
All right, things will crank up here. Again, dialed it up for those first few days of practice. It will not be long, and December 8th we'll be here. So Watchdog fans, home game. We host Baltic that Friday night, so that'll be a big night to tip it off here in the Watchdog Gymnasium. A couple other big games, as you referenced, before Christmas break, you'll have Flandreau and Sioux Valley on their courts. and then kind of get that little break, and then pick up Parker over the Christmas break, and then all summer into 2024 and fill out the rest of the schedule. But we appreciate you guys making a little time for DawgBone Entertainment, Watchdogs.Live, and part of the Winter Media Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.